Oh, hi guys. Well, I'm going to my next project, finally. And right between these two motors, a little 2-horse and that 5610 right there, was a motor for sitting there for 20 years. I'm going to go fix it. Let me show you. Well, here she is. I believe it's a 1967 18-horse Evinrude. I said it was in my garage for 20 years. It was in my garage for, this is 2024. I moved here in 2003. 21 years and counting. But I'm going to check it out. It's got broken parts, like a lot of them do. That's why I have them. I already dug up some of the parts. The steering brackets broke with the tiller mounts. Probably when they threw it in the pile at the scrapyard. I must have got this motor somewhere between 1995 and 2000 when I lived in my old location. But anyway, I have parts here. I have a complete bracket, couple brackets to pick from. I just got done picking out the parts. I picked out the gear shift levers broke on the other side. So, common thing, they break. I have a used one here. I also had a new one, new old stock. So I have them. I'll probably end up using the used one. Just sandblast it and paint it and keep the new old stock. These I bought recently from marineengine.com. They're only like $8 a piece, $7 a piece. These are for the style of motor just like this that they made for, I believe, 3 years. 10 horsepower motors. And they're a little shorter than the actual 18 to 25s, but I have one here. Because I'll show you the other side. The stuff is all broke. As you can see, it's sheared off here. And I don't know if it shifts or not. And this is broke too. And I won't throw this away either because you can always get them welded if you had to. Well, let's pop off the cover and see what we got, what we're dealing with here. The latch works, that's a good sign. Cover's not in terrible condition, just real dirty. Like I said, it's been sitting in my garage for 21 years. It's got some damage here, probably when they threw it in the pile. The seal's a little wasted here and there too. I actually have a brand new seal for this and plenty of used seals. But it's got the newest style fuel pump on it, which I have new ones. I'm going to run through my check on this. I'm going to see if it's a little tight. I want to see if I can free it up. That's the first thing. Pop the recoil off and put a wrench on there and see if I can free it up. Give me a second. Did a video 2 years ago with a 1970 18 just like this. And it shows you what I do when I first get a motor, how I evaluate it. This is my first way of trying to free them up. A lot of times they're dry seized, sometimes they're not. So it's hit or miss. Well, this one turns. It's good. You can't do this too roughly because you'll break the legs off the recoil. I've done that a few times. So I'm going to just, it looks like it's going to turn. So I got a wrench. It moves like about an inch. So what I'm going to do is pop the recoil off and put a socket and a wrench on the top, see how it moves, and put some oil in the cylinders. Hopefully it's just a dry seize. I'm pretty sure this motor wasn't seized when I put it away. But time takes its toll. Let's pull the plugs out and see how they look. I already broke them loose. Number one's pretty clean. At least there's not all rust around it. The electrodes. Number two, pretty much the same way. So that's a good sign. The plugs are nice and clean. I'm going to squirt some WD-40 in the cylinders. Hopefully it comes out. There it goes. Nice generous amount. You really should lay the motor on its side when you do this, but I'm not going to bother. And then I'm going to pop this off. I already broke the screws loose. Three-quarter socket. I'll try it. Put my foot on the cart so the motor doesn't fall over. Free right up, see? Kind of knew this was going to happen. This is, like I said, I put this motor away and it wasn't seized. It's just from sitting for so many years, probably a little rust on the cast iron rings for the cylinder walls. That's fine. Next, I'm going to put some oil in the spring on the recoil and do a compression check. You sprayed a little WD-40 in here and there. This was stuck in, so it wouldn't work. But now you can see it works. Just need a little TLC. I also took the thermostat cover off. There was no thermostat in it, and the screws were kind of loose. I might have did that years ago, but we're just gonna move on from there. Compression check. Gonna torch this gear shift lever. See if I can free it up. Got a vice grip on it, and come up through the bottom. Stay away from the mount. There's also a rubber boot on the top here. But if you just put it in the right spot here, underneath, you won't hit any of those rubber pieces, rubber mount or the boot for the gear shifter. Make sure it's in the frame. Oh, it could be a little bit lower. Let's see if that did anything. There we go. And get some WD-40 and put it on the roller. Roll on there. Get some on the top and the back there where it meets the midsection, the rod. So far, I'm batting 1,000 with this motor. Well, let's give it a couple yanks, see what it does. I got it number 1. Oh, that feels really good. Oh. Man, that's tight. A little bit more. I got about 90 in that one. I'm gonna try number 2 now. I should have done it before I put the oil in there, but it doesn't matter. It's just harder to pull. You get a little bit of a hydraulic lock sometimes. More accurate when it's check it when it's dry, and then you try to get the motor running, and then you come back and check it again after you run it a while. That's pretty good to the pull. My new Chinese compression tester, just bought it. Same thing, 90. 90's okay. I prefer 110, but it's been sitting, so we'll see what happens once we run it. I did look at the lower end. It looks like it has a 10 horsepower prop on the bottom. It's kind of small and it's all bent up, so the prop's pretty much got to be replaced too. all easy things to replace, you know? It's not a big deal. A lot of times getting back to the shifter, you pull off the little cover on the side, you'll see that the connector is disconnected or broke. There's like a bronze connector, hooks up the two rods for the gear shift. Sometimes it strips, breaks, or it could be a problem in the gear case below. But this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to find out what we got to deal with here. The motor has all the knobs on the front, the kill button, the wire looks good. It's not all broken and frayed. The mixture turns, choke works. It's got fixed high speed. What else? That's it for this first initial check. Basically, you check your compression. I know it's not going to have sparks. I'm not even going to bother to check. So I'm going to pull the flywheel, clean the points, and then check for spark. Very rarely, if a motor's sitting more than 5-10 years, you'll have spark because the tungsten points just oxidize. Depending the conditions, if it's indoors, climate control area, or if it's in your shed or in your garage, polish the points or change them. And one other thing, it's just so nice to get off that little 5.5 after all that time and all those issues that I dealt with. At least I know what I'm dealing with here. It's mostly just change parts, a little involved changing the stern bracket, but nah. You know, I've done so many of them. Free up the clamps to mount it. They're always stuck. Sometimes you can free them with a torch. Most times I drill them out. I will pull the head to make sure there's no delamination. Where the aluminum pushes away from the cylinder, very common in this year bracket. More so the couple years later. And I also noticed there's a 71 in the Welch plug. This is definitely not a 71, unless the power head was changed. They could have put a later 18-horse power head on it. I'm going to double check the numbers and see if they match with the tag on the stern bracket to find out the history of this motor. So stay tuned. Oh, and I forgot to blow it out. Very gratifying for me. I don't know why. It was not bad. I mean, no rodents, no spiders yet. It's amazing. I don't see any reason why this shouldn't be a good runner unless the block is shot. Okay. Well, here I'm pulling the flywheel off. I'm going to clean the points and show you how quickly it really takes, or how long it takes, to get something running that's been sitting for over 20 years. Magneto looks really good. I could probably polish these points right in place, but I'm going to take them out and I'll polish them. Well, there's a first for me. I just thought I'd like to share it with you people. As soon as it focuses, the clip that holds the points on is real long. I've never seen the clips that long. So for some reason, if it's only focus, come on, focus. Well, anyway, I've never seen the clips that hold the points down that long. Crazy. This Magneto's in really nice condition. Well, I took the clips off. Now I'm going to take the points out and polish them. Another motor. External stall washer was holding the points down on one side. And the wave washer was holding the condenser down. The wave washer always holds the points down. I always see that all the time on these motors. They mix up the washers. They don't know where they go. It's not a major problem, but it's not the way it's supposed to be. Best way to clean points. 3-inch fine roll lock, and a right angle motor. Just a couple sweeps, that's it. Not too much, you don't want to affect it. You don't want to grind it away. That's all she wrote. Now I'm going to put them back in. Let's see if you can see spark there. I got the points back in. We'll see what happens. The plugs are really rusty. I should just go get another set of plugs, but let's see. Yep, nice good spark. So that's done. I'm going to put some, I'm going to spray a little starting fluid in the choke, behind the choke and the carburetor, and see what happens. So I lost my footage of me straightening this out. So just going to briefly tell you what I did. I took the fuel pump off and I used this plate. It took about 6 times. I used the porta power to push it out. This is the wedge I used right here. And the kit, I bought this kit a couple years ago from Vivor. I think it was like $119 on sale. So except for a little seal damage, which was actually there from the impact, you know, I might just change the seal or do a little silicone repair there. Came out pretty good. Here I'm rebuilding the carburetor. Carburetor's very clean inside. Took the high-speed jet out. I got the little tool for it right here. If you guys ever mess with the carburetors. V17002. I think about $15 now on eBay. But anyway, doing the carb. Just moving along on this. So after spending about a little more than an hour, rebuilt the carburetor and polished the points. That's all I did. I replaced the spark plugs. You never know what you're going to get when you get a motor that's this old as far as wrong parts. This long rod was on the carburetor in the front here. The proper rod's 1.5 inches. This thing's probably, I don't know, more than 2 inches long. So that's going to affect the timing and everything. The motor's going to run terrible. But I got that all squared away. So let's see if it starts. I got my gas hooked up. Temporary water tank there. There it goes. Well, that's a good sign. Oh, I got to tighten the thermostat cover up again. But that's a good sign. I mean, 30 years being in storage, from the scrapyard to running. A little over an hour, folks. Let's put that thermostat cover back on, tighten down. I had to put a gasket in there. There was no gasket. The water did come out the short time it ran. I'm a little bit non-emotional sometimes with these because I've done it so many times. You know, when they start up for the first time after long periods of being dormant. This motor was never meant to run again. You know, because I bought it from the scrapyard years ago. Let's see if she starts again. Chances are the fuel pump's no good. Usually, it's typical. So I think I got it figured out. Uh, Let me just get the piece. I mean, I think somebody scalloped the original brass plate. Maybe they lost the original rod. I don't know. You never know the history of these things. All you Sharpies out there, you know what I'm talking about. A million people have been into this thing through the years. But it had this real long rod on there. So I think what they did is maybe they lost this rod and they had this one and they adapted this one and they end up grinding this out. Because I've never seen a contour like that on a brass plate. All the 18s from 1958 up till 68 had these kind of brass plates with the same contour. In 69, they came out with the aluminum ones, the small ones, and they changed the carburetors, the intake manifolds, the reed plates, and everything. But anyway, I'm going to put this on there because you can do it without taking the magneto off. It's a little tricky to get under there to get those 5/16 screws, but I'm going to do that and see how much better it's going to run once I do that. It's really funny. You never know what people are going to do or what the past is when you get an old motor like this. Could have been to Rome for all I know. So definitely what they did is they ground this, reshaped it to fit this long rod. Now I just went my parts, pulled out the proper one. You can see where that line is. That's your synchronizing line for your mag plate to your roller. As soon as the roller is in the center of that mark, the linkage is supposed to just start to move on the carburetor. The way this is, the motor is idling almost at full throttle. But probably before I changed, it wasn't too off before I changed this. So now it's worse because I got the proper rod here. All the 18s from 58 to 67 had brass rods with wire retainers. 69, they changed it. But let me change this piece and I'll start up again. So I definitely could have left this in there with that long rod that was made to compensate. But I like to put things back to original condition. And that's what I'm doing here. You can see how it's supposed to look like and how they ground it down. Hey, they did a good job. So after about an hour and a half, like I said originally, I changed the points, I polished the points, and rebuilt the carburetor. Temporarily cut back the fuel line because I had a pinhole in it until I can change the lines later. I just want to get the motor, make sure it's worth fixing, no knocks. So, but I finally got it to this state. So she runs really good. Like I said earlier, it took me 3 pulls initially to get it started. That was yesterday. I got it running today. I'm sorry, late in the evening yesterday. And it wouldn't start. Yanking it about 15 times. All of a sudden, from running, keyway broke. The Woodruff key. I didn't have the flywheel torqued down properly. I just had a snug. So, my fault. Put the Woodruff key in there this morning. Also, the situation with the got the proper cam follower now, proper rod here, instead of, like I said earlier, somebody ground down the original one and they put a longer arm in there. So originally I didn't discover that the cam, they did such a nice job grinding this. I thought it was factory. And then looking at it more, I just said, oh, it ain't factory. Sure enough, they never had one like this. The aluminum ones that came out in '69 resemble this a little bit, but a lot smaller. But anyways, that's all squared away. I got it timed properly. She runs really good. A few other things too. The motor is a 68. The power head's a 67. No, the motor's a 68. The power head's a 68. The serial number on the transom bracket's a 67. So figure that one out. Again, you don't know what you're getting. You're talking about a motor that was made in the dinosaur days. So all the alterations and repairs is totally understandable. But anyway, the important thing is I'm bringing it back, and stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching. You don't think I'm going to end this first part without running it with the proper cover on, did you? Stay tuned for part 2, folks. Thanks for watching.